Hey you guys, it's Holly from Visit Brainerd, and today we're going to talk to you about how you can love Brainerd like a local. And I'm finding myself in the back room of Yasher Kombucha. I'm with the owner, Shawn Hopman. And Shawn, we have lots of questions to talk to you today about this whole process. What other roles, what other titles do you have here at Yasher Kombucha?
Owner, head brewer, packager, delivery guy, IT guy, janitor, taproom manager.
All the things. So this is a family-run operation.
Right now, yes.
Yeah. You guys are coming up on your 1-year anniversary. We're going to talk to you guys a little bit about that in the future here. But first of all, one of my main questions is, what on earth is kombucha? I would assume there's lots of people out there that are watching that are wondering the same thing.
Yeah, $1 million question.
Right.
It is a fermented tea. It is it's around a 2,000-year-old method of making tea that originated in China. Often called the tea of immortality because of its health benefits.
That's cool.
Yeah. So we brew it all here. Everything is flavored with real fruit. No juices, purees, anything like that. Just straight up fruit. We also offer a lot of non-kombucha items. We have several different interesting, we have a fermented lemonade called a Sima. We have a switchel, which is apple cider vinegar. That's actually got a really cool story to it. So it's actually also known as haymaker's punch. It's a 17th century thirst quencher, like an early Gatorade.
Super cool. It's got some history behind this whole process.
Yeah. It was mentioned in Little House on the Prairie, actually. Where
awesome.
They would, yeah, totally. The recipe I used, I based it off of and tweaked it to make it ours, but recipe came from an old farmer's almanac. So.
I love that.
Yeah.
You're kind of like a chemist.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah.
How did you get into this?
The other $1 million question, how does somebody go into something as crazy and weird as that? Like, it's kind of obscure right now.
It is a little. I mean, the whole craft breweries are, of course, popping up all over the place, but we need to also mention this is non-alcoholic.
Yep, everything we do here is non-alcoholic. Our tap room is fully non-alcoholic, and that's intentional. Because it's different.
The reason I mention that is just because the brewing process seems to be popular.
Yep.
But brewing kombucha, not as popular and a little more unknown.
Right.
Is that fair?
Yes, and the brewing process is similar to doing beer.
Yeah.
And some also say like wine, because it's fermented. A lot of my methods I adopted from the craft beer brewing industry.
Sure.
So I kind of go along those paths, and from our packaging to the tap room and how we offer flights, we offer growlers, just like a regular brewery would. I should also mention that there are less than a handful of non-kombucha or non-alcoholic tap rooms in the entire state.
Yeah, that's so exciting, and that you are here, located right in downtown Brainerd. We love that. He's super close to my office. In fact, I get to use the back door whenever I come over and visit. So we love that. We love that you're here, and it's just something that's so unique, and we love having you here. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, we love being here. It's been a really nice fit, and so it's something very special. And there are less than a handful of kombucha tap rooms in the entire state. In fact, there's only 3.
3 in the state of Minnesota.
In the state of Minnesota.
We got one right here.
And we have one right in Brainerd.
Pretty fantastic.
Of all the coolest things.
Let's talk a little bit about what you've got on tap.
Okay.
How many? And I have some kind of fun questions. Like, have you ever made a batch where you're like, what was I thinking?
Yep.
And have you ever made a batch that you said, this is the best batch I've ever had?
Yes. Yes to both of those. I can't remember because I've had several batches that were like, what was I thinking?
And is it just a trial and error thing?
It totally is.
I kind of think this and this would go good together. I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah. One of the very first flavors I made was, we call it APK. It's apple, plum, and kiwi. That's kind of the one that we used to launch the whole thing. That was one that I came up with. I was just making it in my kitchen one day, and I'm like, I need some fruit. We have a little basket with fruit in it, and I'm like, that's what we had in it, was apples, plums, and kiwi, and I'm like, I guess I'm gonna use this, and I made a batch, and it was awesome.
Turned out great.
Yeah.
Winging it.
Now I can't brew it to save my life, but I don't know why. It's just weird, but that happens too. So
Okay.
you keep trying, and I keep
Right.
trying, and it comes back once in a while. When I get a good batch, I'll throw it out there. If it is bad, I'll just dump it down the drain. But
And you don't really know until the batch is done.
correct. Yep.
Boy, I bet there's some frustration and some exhilarating moments all at the same time.
Yeah, there is. It is.
When it comes to that.
And when you nail one, it's like, oh my gosh, yeah.
So good.
So recently, I just did a Hawaiian Pog. It's called, and it's a it's a juice that's really popular on the Hawaiian Islands.
Okay.
So it's passion fruit, orange, and guava.
That
And
sounds delicious.
It's amazing. And I've been dreaming about this flavor, but passion fruit is also very expensive.
Right.
I mean, we're working with real fruit here, so everything is expensive,
Right.
but passion fruit especially is hard to get and very expensive. And so I had a customer that had stopped in to the tap room that lived, she stopped in August, and she lived in California.
Okay.
And she was like, I have a passion fruit vine in my backyard.
No way.
And she's like, it's been a good season. I have some extra. Would you like some?
You said yes, please.
And of course I said yes. And so she shipped it to me, and we had enough to make 2 kegs of it and put it out, and it was the best kombucha I have ever made in my entire life.
And such a small window because of the fruit situation.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, I'm glad it worked out for you.
Yeah. So then I frantically, I did end up finding a passion fruit place that I can get some passion fruit. So it is back. It's actually
Okay.
on tap right now.
Okay,
So,
very cool.
yeah.
You have quite a few things on tap.
Yes.
How many do you have right now?
So we have 10 strictly kombuchas, and then we have 2 non-kombucha items that I had
Like the
mentioned
lemonade,
earlier, the lemonade
okay.
and the switchel. And then we actually do some made from scratch cider in the winter here, hot cider,
Excellent.
and some hot sweet tea right now.
Okay. And
So-
the taps are really changing often.
Yes, so we have,
You're always moving stuff around
Yep.
and creating new and bringing
Yep.
back old and all that.
so we have basically 5 mainstays that are
Okay.
like our 5
Yep.
base ones that we also bottle those in 12-ounce bottles, and those you can find all over town.
I was going to ask you.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Okay,
But yeah, so then there's that, the 5 main ones, and then we always have a hot one,
Okay.
which is based in habanero. So we do different
Oh,
versions
hot
of
and spicy.
Yes, spicy hot. We call it son of a booch that's hot.
Great name, great name. Love
So
it, love it.
we do 3 different variations of our son of a booch that's hot. We do like a pineapple, a mango, and a blueberry version of it.
Mango, I think that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
I haven't had that one. Okay.
And then, so we'll always have a hot one, so that one will always be rotating between those 3 flavors.
Okay.
And then we do a hopped one,
Okay.
like a beer hop,
Yep.
and it actually drinks a little like an IPA.
Yeah, not my favorite.
No,
But
but
that's
there's
okay.
a lot of craft beer drinkers
Yep.
out there
Absolutely.
that miss that.
Yep.
And so we have different variations of that. So we will always have a hopped one on, we'll always have a son of a booch that's hot, and then those will rotate.
Sure,
for
makes
whatever.
sense. So you're kind of just appeasing the masses,
Yep.
correct?
Yep.
Okay. You had alluded to you being in other locations.
Yes.
So you can't be here 24/7.
Yep.
But your product can be found in
Yes.
other places. So
Yep.
where can we find you?
So right now we're at the Co-op, Sage, Loco Express, the Cenex stations, Midtown, Wild Rice Depot, and Corner Store out by Pillager. I know I'm forgetting a bunch.
Boy, being a small run family operation, you're running around to all these folks too and getting them all delivered.
Mm-hmm.
And you're brewing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. You're a busy guy.
I know.
You're a busy
Yeah.
guy.
Or
Let's-
crazy, one of the 2.
Maybe a little bit of both. What other things do you think that the general public needs to know about kombucha? You want to talk a little bit about the health benefits?
Yes, so a couple of things I guess I would say. The general public or people are kind of scared of it because they've either had a home brew or they've had store-bought kombucha that is very vinegary, like
Yep.
very strong and hard to palate.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with those kombuchas. Our kombucha is a little fresher, so it's not as vinegary and it's easier to palate.
I will 100% vouch for that. It's almost like it's kind of like a pop,
Kind of, yep.
but not.
But a healthy one, yeah. Well, and that's how this all started, is I wanted to drink less pop. And so I like flavor and I like carbonation.
I like the fizz too. I
Yes.
love the fizz.
And so water was out. Water's not going to get me off of pop. So I started experimenting
Okay,
with this, and
that's
that's how
awesome.
this all
Great
grew
story.
up into this. But yeah. Yeah, so where were we at with?
We were just kind of talking about other health benefits.
Oh yes, health benefits. So we have a lot of people that come in. So what it is full of is different. The main thing is probiotics and healthy acids, and what it does is it balances your gut. So it's all about gut health. If your gut's healthy, so is the rest of your body.
Got it.
Because everything kind of comes out of that.
It's complicated, but you're breaking it down for us non-chemist people
Yes.
to understand it.
Yes.
For those of you who are interested a little bit more about that, I know that you have, at least you used to have, like a cheat sheet kind of behind the bar tap area.
Oh yeah, with all the different
Yeah.
the nutrition facts.
Yes.
Yep.
So if you have questions or you're wondering about is one different than the other, which I'm sure they all are because they have different ingredients.
Yes.
But you can help people with that, and you can also get, like you had said before, like a flight. You can do a little bit of sampling to pick your favorite. My favorite is the blueberry crisp.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite? Do you have one?
I like the hopped ones, and I really like our aronia berry. So our aronia berry is a berry that nobody's ever heard of.
Yeah, never heard of it.
A farmer from down in Cold Spring actually approached me last year, about a year ago actually, and was like, "Hey, I have fields of these aronia berries, and they're a superfruit, and I'm looking for somebody to put them in kombucha." I'm like, "Well, I have kombucha," and so we
What's your name
partnered.
and number? What's it?
Yep. So he
Wow.
brought me a sample and I made a batch, and at first I didn't like it. I was like, this really doesn't have a lot of flavor, blah, blah, blah. But I always make like a 5-gallon batch and drink the entire 5 gallons myself. Not in
Okay.
one sitting, but yeah.
Okay.
But I'll work
Just to
through
get
that
the
whole
flavor?
thing just to see, I'm not going to go off of the first thing that I taste.
Sure.
I'm going to go back to it again and again. And I absolutely fell in love with it. Well, it's got the highest level of antioxidants of all fruit
Okay.
right now.
So
Until they
interesting.
find another fruit that's got more. But as it is right now, it's got the highest level of antioxidants. So it actually, for me, as a drinker of a lot of kombucha, because I brew it,
Yeah.
that one in particular, I notice myself personally having a clearer mind. I don't get the 2 o'clock in the afternoon slump. It's like a natural energy drink. So I start every day with my own berry.
Well, how cool is that? And you
Yeah.
just came out of nowhere and said, "Hey, I want to
Mhm.
give you my stuff."
And we're all about working with
Yeah.
other places.
You are the king of partnerships. You have multiple people that you work with, and you have other products here that from other businesses that you brought in just to kind of share,
Mhm.
right? I mean, you are a huge component of one is successful. We are all successful.
Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I love that motto that you certainly live by,
Yeah.
and it's appreciated by everybody. I mean, it's just cool.
One of my favorite ideas that we had was the Open City line
We love that
of,
idea.
of clothing that we have. So we went and bought, for those that don't know,
Right.
I went over and bought thrift clothes from Open City Thrift and put our logo on it. I put their logo on the back so that they got a little publicity out of it.
And now they're for sale here
We
at
sell them here.
the Kombuchery.
Yes, Kombuchery.
It's a fun word. Let's talk real briefly about your 1-year anniversary that is coming up. It has
Yes.
been one heck of a year.
Yes, it has.
It has come a long way. You have done great things. It's time to celebrate.
Yes.
So what do you got going on?
So we've got a few things going on that day. So it's February 12th. As I go down the list, I'm like, you gotta be crazy to go into business for yourself. That's the first prerequisite. Just gotta have lost your mind completely.
Okay. Way to sell it. Okay.
Full send it. Yeah, so we're going to be doing from 12 to 5, we're going to be rotating a brand new flavor that we've never had on tap before. Every hour from 12 to 5. So watch social media, because I'm going to post every hour what the new flavor is going to be, and that's when you're going to want to get in your car and get down here, because it's only going to be on for that hour. And then we're going to take it off
window.
And switch the next one out. And if you want to hang out for all 5 of those hours or 6 hours, that's cool too.
Well, we can, because there's other things going on.
Yep, we have games, we have places to sit, we have a full tap room and everything.
You're gonna have some live music?
We're gonna have some live music. We're gonna have Steve from over at Open City Thrift is gonna come over and play some vinyls.
He loves that. That's always fun.
I'm gonna let him sell the vinyls that he's playing. And so that's gonna be happening. We're going to be doing drink and food specials with Last Turn Saloon, 612 Station, and Big J's Pizza Arcade.
Yum.
So we'll be packaging some drink specials with specials that they're doing. Let's see, what else do we have going on that day? We have a back room that we're working to make into a music venue, because Brainerd is really short on music venues, not like tap rooms to play in. We have lots of those.
Yeah.
But like a legit music venue.
Yeah. And you are all about, I remember talking to you when you first arrived here, and you were really excited about making this happen, and it's so cool to see you. I mean, it's really only been a year, and look at what you've done.
Yeah.
But you were really excited about bringing in all sorts of music.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have a favorite, and you don't have one that you hate. You are open-minded and want all sorts of genres.
Yeah, I said everything from a string quartet to punk rock.
I remember that. Yep, that's exactly what you've been saying. So it'll be super fun to see that come to fruition, and you're just right there.
We're right on the edge. Yeah. So
that'll be cool.
We're a little premature probably for what I want to do back there. Like, we still need to build a stage and buy a sound system and things like that. But I got a sound system, and we are working on the staging part of it right now. We should have it all together by that night. So we're going to have Kelly Smith and Scarlett Woods are going to play in what we're going to call the James Cullen Room, which is another nod to history in Brainerd.
That is right.
And so, should I explain this?
Sure, you can. Yep, Cullen Corner, is that correct?
Well, Cullen Corner is over here.
Right.
His offices were over there.
Okay.
So he's the original soft drink maker of Brainerd. So he had a bottling company called James Cullen Bottling or Brainerd Bottle Works, or there's a few different names, but he had a plant on South 7th Street, just down here by Bain Park.
Okay.
And
so you're giving him a little bit of love by naming your back room.
Giving him a nod, saying
cool.
Thank you for doing that. Somebody had to do it in Brainerd. We're basically doing the same thing.
Exactly.
So it seemed fitting. And you can ask me about I have an original bottle from 1900 from him.
Yeah, a little fun fact, he's kind of a historian. He likes old stuff. So he's very interesting to talk to when you guys get down here. If he's not busy running around, and if you can catch him, certainly strike up a conversation with Shawn. And he's happy to talk about history, I know that. It's super cool, so we love that part of it also. Okay, well, what's the date of your party?
It is February 12th.
You got time?
We will open at noon until the party's over.
Oh, love that.
Yeah. Basically, we're going to start the music and back at 6. So,
okay.
All
the stuff, got it.
We'll just let it go until people are,
kombucha out.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Can you give us a quick address?
612 South 8th Street. We're right next door to Last Turn Saloon.
Yeah, probably one of the larger landmarks. Everyone kind of knows where the Last Turn is. Again, right in downtown Brainerd, so it's pretty easy. Make sure you watch these guys on social media. That's where they post all of their stuff. You guys have They do open mic night every once in a while. They do a trivia night that's becoming super popular. Just make sure that you keep yourself updated on that. And anything else you need to add?
No, yeah, just mainly watch the socials because they'll.
That's where you keep it
That's
updated.
where we
yeah.
keep it all updated.
Okay.
Better than our website.
Okay. Well, he's a busy guy, so you can't do it all, right? I'll cut you a little slack on that.
Certain things I should do better.
Well, yeah, I think your main goal is to keep putting out a pretty great product.
Yep.
We want to make sure you guys are invited down to Yashir Kombucha. Try one of the flights, figure out what your palate likes.
There's
and then
something
go from
that
there.
you should walk away with something that you've liked.
I had never tried kombucha before, ever.
Mhm.
And then I came down here and had some of his, and I think he gave me a couple of different samples. You were super new at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you had a
We
whole
weren't
lot.
even open yet.
Oh, I feel so special. But that blueberry crisp is so good. It's
Yeah.
just yummy.
Yeah.
And I don't love blueberries, but for whatever reason, that one is really good.
Yeah. It's like dessert in a cup.
Right. So there you go. There's my reasoning.
There you go.
Okay, you guys, there you have it. That's one more way of how you can love Brainerd like a local. Make sure you get down to Yashir Kombucha, and we're gonna kombucha up. We'll see you guys down here soon.